Hello, friends. This is Professor Googlo. Today's video will be a little unusual, but I'm sure you will like it. So, get comfortable and let's go. Stealing a doll. We are all human beings, and we can all do stupid things that cause bewilderment to those around us. Sometimes you can go crazy while trying to understand what is in a person's head. Imagine how surprised the salesman was when he came to work in the morning and saw this. The window was broken, and the video camera footage showed an unknown person taking out a doll impersonating a woman and fleeing with it in an unknown direction. The intruder was well prepared for the case. He came with a baseball bat. He even managed to get into the store in a matter of seconds. However, the thief's escape was much more difficult. He could not even get out. He stumbled and fell to the ground. Maybe the thief was drunk. Or maybe he wanted to be alone with his loot. But was it worth it? After all, the video shows his face, and it went viral all over the internet. It's raining money. Everyone knows. People rob to have as much money as possible. Robberies are planned for a long time. All the details are thought out so that everything goes as planned. Robbers even think about where to leave the car to quickly and discreetly escape from the chase. But the guys in this video are not so responsible. They got it all wrong from the start. They thought it was a good idea to rob a travel agency. They probably thought the agency had plenty of cash and lacked security. The thieves got into the building, and at first everything went smoothly. The mistake was coming in without a bag or a bag of loot. So the guys just filled their pockets with money. As soon as they left the travel agency and tried to escape, the money just fell to the ground. The thieves lost most of the money. One of them kept walking while the other tried to pick up the bills. The thieves had a chance to escape, settling for the remaining change, but it was definitely not their day. Thief versus ATM. Banks are one of the oldest ways to keep your savings. And usually it is a reliable way. Sometimes there is a bonus in the form of interest. Once people realized this, almost everyone started using bank services. They also became attractive to thieves. But banks are well guarded, so only a professional robber can take on a robbery. But what to do for those who want money, but do not yet reach the professional? Rob ATMs, of course. They are not hard to find, they are not guarded, and if you want, you can even move them to another place. The hero of this episode wanted to get some money and thought an ATM was a suitable target. He even arrived by car with the necessary equipment. The man planned to break into the store with the ATM, pick up the machine, and then escape in a car. The first difficulty was getting in. The thief decided to use brute force. Next, he needed to tie a chain to the ATM, attach it to the car and drive away, taking the machine with him. But the thief got into the car and felt no pull. Realizing how foolish he had been, he simply returned to the car and fled in shame. Shoplifters. The woman in this episode probably wished she hadn't gone to the gym. You have to be either too smart and cunning or completely stupid to consider committing a crime. After all, the process has to be thought out from the get-go. There can be no mistakes, otherwise you will pay dearly. If you doubt your genius, it is better not to commit a crime and live like all law-abiding citizens. When a group of thieves decided to rob a hypermarket, they screwed up by taking a clumsy member of the team. They had already been stealing from stores and shopping centers and decided to up the ante. Well, the thieves still managed to remove a full cart from the store, but the triumph was short-lived. Just imagine how much effort it took to get the cart with more than $600 worth of merchandise past the cash register and security, all for the sake of screwing up at the finish line. On the way out, the thieves thought they had been spotted, so they made a hasty getaway. And as you know, if you hurry, you make people laugh. A woman tripped and fell, and the cart tipped sideways. The accomplices just got in the car and drove off. Next time, you should get someone a little bit smarter. Computer thief. We don't know what drives people to steal, but many are justified by poverty and the need for money. Whatever the reasons, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. What excuse can you come up with for this guy? Who would even want to steal a laptop? A student? He came into the store specifically to steal a laptop. It would seem simple, but the thief could not take the gadget and throw it in his bag, because the technique is connected by special protective wires. But the guy did not give up. He yanked the laptops to the last. In the end, he left the store with an empty bag and in full rage. The guy didn't take into account that there are cameras in the department and it wouldn't be hard to find him. It was stupid to come to a hardware store without a cable cutter. The theft of a cash register. The guy in this episode was more imaginative, but still couldn't plan the robbery properly. You've probably seen videos on the internet where people try to get a gold bar out of a plastic box with a small hole in it. Almost no one succeeds, because the bullion is very heavy and it is difficult to pull it through with one hand. This thief didn't seem to have seen any of these videos. That's why he was overconfident. What happened when he tried to rob a fast food restaurant's automobile cash register? Did his luck just run out, or was the plan a failure from the start? These cash registers usually have plenty of cash in them, as there is a huge flow of customers through them. When the thief apprehended the cashier, at first no one realized anything, everyone thought he was just ordering. But when the criminal frightened the cashier with a crowbar and started his plan, everything went wrong. He foolishly tried to take the entire cash register instead of just taking the cash. Perhaps his greed was also to blame. No matter how hard the thief tried to get the cash register through the small window, he had to give up in the end. Perhaps better luck next time. How do you open the door? The brain can screw up literally all of us. Sometimes we forget how to do basic things. Surely everyone has had that moment when you walk into a room and immediately forget why you came in. And it can't be prevented, it can only be tolerated. Maybe our brains are just rebooting. The main thing is that it doesn't happen at the most inopportune moment. Like this guy who decided to rob an ATM. As soon as the man entered the room with the ATM, the voice of the virtual assistant sounded, which scared the intruder. He backed up and tried to run away, but the door slammed shut behind him. The poor guy got confused and forgot how to open the door. He wasted a lot of time. In a panic, he started beating the door with a metal tray, which caused the alarm to go off. The man eventually got out of the trap, but he was caught by the police a few minutes later. By the way, the loser thief didn't think about the CCTV cameras either. The thieves leave empty-handed. Unfortunately, sometimes people have to choose between their wallet or their life. And the decision has to be made in a matter of seconds. And very few people can keep their cool. In the case of a robbery, the victim can hardly do anything. But this woman is made of a different kind of dough. As soon as she saw the suspicious guys walking towards her, she took action. The lady threw her purse into the building she was in front of. And when the thief came close, she was still not confused. For such an outcome, the guys were not ready and decided to just get away as soon as possible. When the video hit the internet, many marveled at the girl's courage. Perhaps, later the thieves' losers even laughed at the situation and the girl's ingenuity. Thieving bastard. Often solo operations fail. Alas, this guy who came into the store didn't have a checklist for a successful robbery. After grabbing the cash, he decided to hop on his bike and flee into the night, leaving his victims confused. That instant karma was definitely not what the intruder expected. The guy ran out of the building, jumped on the bike, but was in such a hurry that he forgot to close the bag with the money. He left a trail of bills behind him. The employees were able to return at least some of the money to the cashier's office, but not all of it. Well, as I promised, the video was interesting. So, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.